Now, I'm going to get all kinds of people. Hey, you idiot. You're supposed to leave them so they know where they're all at and where they go. Build your motor. I'll build mine. This is for people that say, I can't do it. So you'll have to excuse me if I'm not doing a whole lot of perfect filming and stuff like that. I'm busy. You can sit here. Let's try to find a 9/16. Damn, it's a little bitty one. I can't believe they're coming out, but they're coming out. Oh. Fine. Boom. Roll out. Nope, one more. Hopefully, I can get this thing apart. And the cylinders are good. If they are, then I'm just changing the timing chain, shit like that. Well, bullshit. Okay, be that way. Oh. Oh, what the hell? Uh-oh. That's not good. I don't know where it cut off. No idea. All I know is this here exhaust stud was stuck in there. And it was rounded off, which a lot of exhaust bolts do. So she rounded off up here on the head. Well, worst case scenario, you cut the son of a bitch out and just slide it off, and then you can pull this out later, you know, the shaft. Well, or you smash the top of it with a hammer, right? Okay? And you get, I don't know what to do with it. Anyway, we'll use this one. You get the right fit one that goes on it, you get it over top of it to where you feel snug, hammer that son of a bitch on, and pull, and then try to drive it out. Impacted it, came right out. So, junk. But it's out. And that leaves one more. So let's see if that one, whoa, get out of here. Big old spider. Go on down to the ground and go hanging somewhere. We don't want you here. I'm not scared of you, just, yeah, get out of here. probably came from that guy's house. Go mate and make me more. I don't mind spiders. Yes, sir. That one's good. Well. Yeah. There's no exhaust gasket left. So that's good. Nothing. That was basically metal on metal. A little bit right there. And there is some. I mean, it looks like it was sealed. It don't have any. It looks like it. Well, no, it does. All right. Let's take the head off, I guess, see what it looks like. Fine. Looks clean. Yeah, unfortunately, this engine isn't very old. It just wasn't taken care of. Yeah, that one's got. Man, we gotta clean them more. It just wasn't taken care of. That's it. Okay, all out. Let me get you straightened. Where's my mallet? Remember, I'm a moron. Don't follow me. Or do and get shit done when it needs to be done. Hey. God, that sucks. That really sucks. Still see the crosshatch? Yeah, guys, this motor, 64,000 is the mileage on this motor. It just sat too long, and non-detergent oil, and then when it was sitting, those valve seals gone. I'm fine with taking the heads off of it because now I can do my own little valve lapping thing. I may not even, I'm gonna look at them. I may not even lap these valves. I may just throw some umbrellas on them. And my main concern with this is taking, I wanted to take the motor and assess the cylinder walls. But yeah, I ain't touching this one. There's barely a little ring ridge. Not enough to concern me with. Besides, like I said, I don't want to put too much money in this because I will rebuild the original motor that's in Blanche. So I'm just checking this thing, and I just need to get some. I mean, there is some vertical scarring, but nothing I ain't dealt with before. So we're going to clean this baby up. We get this other head off. I'll get right back with you. So just got off the phone with Jakes. We got a new cam lifter set coming. This motor did have a little bit of rust in it, but nothing too much to speak of. So what I'm doing is I'm going in with WD-40. Since it's nice and easy to turn with it open like this, I'm going in with WD-40. I'm rotating it. Let it work some of that out now, so that way when you're doing it at startup. I'm taking a whatever rag I can find and wiping down the cylinder like such. And there is a spot in there, I can feel it, where it sat and water got in there. Try another one. That one's clean. That one's very clean, actually. Ain't much of a ridge here. This is a stock motor, and we're about to wake this son of a bitch up. Like, wow, wake it up. She's gonna sound like a really, really pissed off woman. Just clean these cylinders out. I gotta get the rest of this off, and then I gotta get to work on these heads. But first things first, you know. We'll get this thing so she don't flash rust. If I can get the, and it's got a little bit there, but we ain't gonna worry about it. Spray a little bit more up in there. That's good. These are the only two that concerned me, and it's always these two. My guess is the car was sitting in the ground, and this is the way it, look how easy that spins. Oh, yeah. Let's get it out now. Heck yeah. Lifters go in and out. Let's fish spray a little more. Right out of WD-40, that kind of upsets me. This thing's solid, smooth. You notice how fast I'm going. I won't have the stuff I need for another half a week, but it don't matter. It's all gonna come at once on a Wednesday. I can come out here one night after work and just go to town. Have her ready. Swap her out this weekend, hopefully. Heck yeah. This sucker, look how easy that spins. This is the two that concerned me. They had a little bit of rust in them. Look at this, I'm barely putting any effort into that. And those cylinders look good. Now we got them good and lubricated. You know, it should be good. Should be good. See old number one come up here, top dead, huh? There's top dead. See all that rusty? We're getting that out now. We don't have to deal with that later. But it's a nice, smooth, clean job on it. So I think we're gonna be fine. Yep, I think we're gonna be good to go. I got a new cam and lifters coming. Got a new timing chain, even though I got a new one on Blanche already. I went ahead and ordered one. That way, when it comes to Blanche's engine, all I'm doing is taking the intake and the distributor out of that one, putting them in this one. That's it. Other than that, this motor would be ready to go time I get these heads done. I'm gonna take a look at them. If they need to be lapped, I'll lap them, but I hope I don't. I hope I can just change the umbrella seals on them real quick and put some Berryman in the fuel, which is already some in it. Maybe some down the carb once I get the cam broke in, because I'll have to do that. My neighbor's going to be happy about that. So, yeah, that's going to be it for right now. I'll get back with you when I get everything. Maybe when I do the heads, I got to clean off my workbench. Pretty simple, but I don't get the parts till Wednesday, so I need to finish Blanche. Oh, excuse me, I need to finish Artemis's wiring, get his fuel lines set up, and he'll be ready to go. Ain't nothing else we can do. Talk to the gentleman today about the title and stuff, and unfortunately he had a house fire, but he's pretty sure that it's in there in a fireproof deal, and he's going to look tonight. So hopefully they find that, but either than that, he's coming. It's on the trailer. So welcome back to Irish Outlaw Garage. Now, we left off working on the motor that I bought for the Ranchero, Blanche, our 76 Ford Ranchero. Recap, rod knocking in the 351 modified 2 weeks before No Name Nationals. I worked 12-hour days. This is going to be a rough one, but I went and bought a 400 against my better judgment that I usually do. I never use used engines. I just don't. I will usually get them and go through them, and I thought, you know what, I'll put this thing in. It'll be just fine. Well, then, as you saw in the previous video, previous segment, whatever, I don't know where I'm putting this, y'all. I'm in a hurry. So I basically got down to the valve covers and saw that all the, you know, the oil umbrellas were gone. The valve seals were gone. So I thought, oh my God, okay, I'll take the head off. Well, that turned into another thing and another thing, and then it's got the original parts. This thing's all Ford. I can show you the stamped bearings and everything. Right now what I'm doing is I'm knocking the pistons out of it. I got to get the heads done, this block cleaned up and honed. I got a ridge reamer so I can, you know, get that ridge out of there. Got all my parts ordered. Everything should be here about the middle of the week of this week, and it is the week of the 18th, something like that, September. I don't know, whatever. But I got one more here. There ain't gonna be a lot of me sitting there telling you what I'm doing and all that. This is gonna be a mad dash to get this car ready to go to No Name Nationals, because I promised Zeppy that this car was going to No Name Nationals. That's why we're doing this. So let me show you one more thing here that I'm doing. I got one more piston to pop out. I'll show you how I do it. Now, I gotta emphasize to all of you, do not do what I do at all, because I cut corners on stuff like this. But you can do it fine, but just remember, I didn't tell you to do it, because the way I do things, there's going to be some engine builders like, what the hell? I don't care. I've got all these engines out here that I've built that just the way I'm doing this one, except this one's in a rush. So, you know, if something messes up, it messes up. Start back at the drawing board. But I have a feel this, I'm not real big on these motors anyway, but the 400 is far better than the 351 in my opinion. So we'll get this thing done. I got one more piston to pop out, then I'll show you the cylinder walls, I'll show you the bearings real quick, because I got to get to work on this thing. So give me a second. Already busted my damn knuckle. Anyway, let me show you the wrong way. Oh, there went a piston or something. Don't care. Let's get it done. Right over there. Is it loose? No. It is now. So, believe it or not, can't really see it, but this crank is in great shape, like super shape. There's, you know, scoring on there, but it's had some really awful oil in it at one time. But the crank's really good. We're just gonna polish her up, old white trash shoestring and the mechanics tape. So I'm gonna put that down right there. You always want to do this, by the way. Can't see me because I don't know how to zoom. So you always want to do this, by the way, with your crank journal in the down position, which should be all the way up. That way you can guide this past. And this is just how I do it. I'm sure there's better ways, but get it past the journals. You can put rubber hoses on it, just like if you were installing it. You've seen me do that before. Just be real careful. And that's why you do it with rubber too. Don't do it with anything else but rubber. Push that sucker down and just kind of bang on it. I'm not reusing these bearings anyway, so it's not. There's a little bit of a ring ridge there. Boom. Out. All right, so then what I do is I'll show you these rings. This thing's, in pretty good shape except for that oil rings. All the oil rings are basically stuck. So that's not good. So yeah, we would have started this motor up the way it was, and it would have been a catastrophe. But there's some scoring on the pistons, but we're not worried about that. Let me show you something. Oh, before that, then, you know, be sure to make sure the markings, like I know this is number 8. Oh, no. Well, how did number 4 get there? Oh, okay, never mind. I was looking at Ford. You gotta remember Ford's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is number 4. Put that back on there. Make sure you keep your cap the right direction and on the right rod, because you want to talk about catastrophe. So let me get these nuts back on here. I always like to keep the, if you're using the original hardware, make sure you put the nuts back on the same rod you got them off of. It probably don't matter, but it's just something my dad taught me. Keep everything together. So there's 8 pistons out, and let me show you a few things. All right, so we got these wiped down, and I'm telling you, there is nothing. It had standard Ford bearings in it. Checked them all. You can crank her around here, and I can show you with this. I just wipe them down. Yeah, it's probably a better way. I can use brake clean or whatever, but I just want to look and see, you know, any major scarring, and there isn't. Thank God. Now, the way I do things, let me tell you something. Back in the heyday of automotive, when you had the old filling stations and such, you'd go in, hey, oil pressure's going, I hear a rod knocking. They'd pull it up on their old lift, and I've said this before, they'd pull it up on their old lift, they'd lift the motor up, drop the pan, and they'd change bearings out. All they did was take your rods apart, or your mains or whatever, right up there in the car, and they would push the old bearings out and then push new bearings in. Sometimes they plastic aged them, sometimes they didn't. I know this because I hung out at all these old shops in the late 70s, 80s. That's how they did it. And the motors would last another, you know, back then, these motors are only supposed to go 60, 70,000 miles, in my guess. I don't know. I don't know how many miles this motor had on it. My guess is closer to 164,000, but you know what? Probably not, because of the oil you used back then, different ways people didn't take care of them. So this motor very well could have 64,000 miles on it, because it still has all the original Ford parts. I don't have a bearing stand here. I'd show you. So yeah, I mean, this crank it's perfect. I probably wouldn't have had to take out the pistons. I could have left it the way it was, but if I'm down this far, guys, I'm just going to throw some pistons in it, you know? Or piston rings, excuse me. I'm going to throw some piston rings in it. I got a ridge reamer. I'm going to get that ridge off of there. I'm going to hone them out real good. We'll put some new style, you know, a little bit newer piston rings in it. Change that rear main seal while we got it apart. New bearings, you know, she's going to be nice and clean, be like a brand new engine. And it doesn't take a lot of time to do it like this. I'm just going to take some emery cloth, I call mechanics tape. You put it around those journals, take a shoestring, and just run it back and forth. And it'll clean it up real good. I know there's going to be some people, oh my God, you need to get it professionally polished. No, I don't. They didn't do that back in the day on these engines. I'm not going to do it now. The only time I do that is, well, if I have a lot more time than I have, and I don't have any time. My machine shop up here, he's one of the best. Ships all over the world. But I know he ain't going to have time to get this crank in there just to polish it, knowing that I can look at it. From my experience, I can look at it and tell you that this crank is fine. It just needs polished up, hand polished here. Throw some new standard bearings in it. Might plastic age them, might not. I don't know. That's time consuming. I don't have that. Nice thing is I've got another engine sitting in Blanche now. So hopefully this will work. But yeah, she spins nice, except for where it hits that back there, but that's the flex plate hitting. It's not a big deal. Yeah. All right, I am probably gonna have to take this off though because of this damn thing. We'll probably have to take off the flywheel. I didn't want to do the flex plate. I didn't want to do that, but we're gonna have to. So let me get to work. Sit back, relax. Am I doing that with an impact? Yep. I am. Well, good way to catch your fingers open right there. This is going to be a trick. Flywheel bolts in the bucket. Oh, missed one. Boom. Yada yada bada bing. Okay. That way I can pull this back. Now, I need 13 or 15 16ths, I think it is. 13 16ths. Put that back in the toolbox. Let's see what we got under the hood. Yep. Doing the impact. I know. Didn't do that. Don't care. Oh, there we go. Boom! Already had that one loose. Oh. Bada boom, bada bing. Where's my hammer? Alcohol. Boom. Loose. Bearing. Good. Normal wear. Put this someplace dirty. About the oil pan. Oil pan looks good. There's one. They're all marked. Relax. They even tell you which way. You can't really screw that up. Oh, use this down. Come on, baby. There we go. 2. Oops. Bearing. And then really weird film on the bolts. Oh, yummy. Oh yeah, you can see the copper. Right there. See the copper? She's worn down a little bit, but you know what? It's still good. This one's still Ford. Yep. Sure is. Right? There. I don't know if you can see that right there. That's original. It looks to be. Uh-oh. 10 of 73. Yep. Original equipment, standard bearing. 10 of 73. This motor has never been apart. Sweet. That's actually a good thing. Very good thing. Come on, baby. Get out of there. Get out of there. What are you doing to me? Making me look like a fool. Thrust bearing. Same thing. Good shape. Just needs polished up. 3. All loose. Cranky crank. Bangy bang. Bearing. Not good on the cylinder. Again, don't care. Woo! Yep, same thing. Original bearings. Fine with me. Last one. Big boy. The main bearing. Oh yeah. Hell yeah, man. She's good. This garbage out of there. That thing's hard as a rock. That would have started leaking. Well, why don't you just scratch every cylinder, Jay? Oh. Okay. The importance of making sure you have oil before you go trying to start one of these engines that's old. You know, if the car's sitting for a long time, here's a public service announcement. The worst part about these engines is the oiling system. It's typical. The worst place that does not get oil, usually on all Ford motors, is the rear. The rear main and usually the rear cam bearing. They just don't, because it's at the end of the oiling system. It's not like a Chevy where, you know, all the oil like goes through the whole thing. For some reason, this one, I believe, if I'm right, if I'm wrong, don't care, don't come for me. But my understanding is oil doesn't get to the back of these motors. So this one had oil. This one had lubrication. This one did. This one, I wiped my finger on that. It was bone dry. So let me show you a couple other things. Why you want to prime these before you take off in them. Look at that cam bearing. Huh? It is shot. Look at that. Look how much gap there was. See that goop? Look at that. I'm trying to show you this. Are you watching? Good. Look at this. Watch this. Look at that. That's how much gap there was between the cam and that bearing. There was enough there that it actually sat. Look at that. Yeah, this motor had some really awful oil in it. And the reason I decided to tear it apart was, you can't see it, but on the upper side of this one, there's a chunk missing. So, yeah. But we're going to take care of that. I got cam bearings coming. I got the tool. I know how to do all that stuff. Contrary to popular belief, I actually do know what I'm doing most of the time. I just, you know, if I was building a, you know, a big ass race motor that I wanted to take and get, you know, 8s in a damn quarter mile, no, I wouldn't do it this way. Well, I might. And it would probably work. But cheap parts, all my parts are coming from eBay. Engine tech stuff, I used a little bit on that Pontiac, and I'm going to use it on this one because budget. Oh my God, budget. But camshaft is not budget. She's going to sound like a drum beat. That's what we want. I didn't want to lose. That's just the other thing I was afraid of, putting a stock motor in this thing. And that one there's got an old Fireball crane in it, which they don't make anymore. Crane's defunct and gone, which is sad because they were a great camshaft company. But I want this thing to sound like it means business. And it might mean business. I don't know. I've had engines surprise me. That Cutlass motor surprised me. So, all right, get these bearings out of here. We got to get the cam bearings out. I'll get all that out of there. And then I'll have to put that final, whenever I take it off the stand to get it all back together to put in the car, that's when I'll replace that big freeze plug in the back, because I ain't gonna get it out of this thing. And I just don't have time. I'm not gonna sit here and fiddle fart around with lifting it up, taking that plate off. The plate will be fine. It'll straighten out. So, all right, let me get these bearings out and we'll knock some cam bearings out. Oh, they will. Ford. C. that mean? C. Uh-oh. That one's not a green. That one. Come on. That's really not that bad, guys. It's just showing the wear, the copper wear. It's unfortunate. These are Ford. I am definitely going to look into that and see what that's supposed to mean. Ford loves all their E, Z, E, this, Zebel X, Y, 55, 69. I make sure that this wasn't like already over a 10 under. This is where, you know, I should probably take it to my guy and have him like it, but I don't have time. But yeah, all the bearings, main and rods, they all look great. All look great. I'm actually going to throw them in my parts bucket to keep them nice and neat. You know, and look at everything here. Oh, yeah. Well, there. Yeah, that, wow. I can't believe how bad this thing probably had. If we would have started this, it would have probably had worse or the same oil pressure as Blanche's 351. That is awful. Let me, I don't want to lose these. I'm going to put them someplace special. Right there. So I can forget where they are. God. Yeah, this would have been a friggin' catastrophe. Rear main seal would have leaked. It's hard as a rock. Oh yeah. This sucker. It's in there. It's a rope too. Rope styles. Old school rope though. It don't come out very easy. Wow. Trying to change this one while I was just sitting there would have sucked. While I was still in the car, oh my God. This would have been horrendous. Wow, that thing's hard as a rock. Yeah. It eventually came loose. Sprayed some brake clean in there, and I let her loose. But this is an old rope seal. That's all original too. It's never been replaced. God, I hate it when a good motor just goes to shit. That's what it is, but we're replacing that with rubber, 2-piece rubber. All right. Guess we gotta get the old cam bearing pusher puller out. All right. So here's my cam bearing installer, non-installer, taker outer. I just never understood. I mean, it's always low level at the machine shop to be doing something like these, you know. But I bought this kit. I used to have a really good one, a Mac, and I had this kit, and it was, I believe it was, I want to say, $60 on Amazon. And it does the job, man. Like, does it well too. I wish it had an attachment that wasn't so long here, so. But yeah, we should be able to do that. I don't know if this will knock it out, but I'm not too worried about damaging the cams. There she goes. Don't even have to tighten it. There she is. Here's why I pulled the motor apart. You ready? Look right there. See where it's missing a chunk of the bearing? This bearing is completely cashed. You can start to see right there, in there. It's bad. And there's some kind of crap in here too, but yeah, it's junky junk. So there's one. So I've taken 3 out, and they ain't getting no better the further back you go. At all. Well, they break. Well, I'll be damned. Lost my little thingy thing. Thought that was molded. There you go. Come on. Yeah. They are just badly oiled. And just worn out, man. Plain worn out. Keeping them in line here because they do taper. I'm not sure if it's, I can't remember if it's the one that does it or if it's. Now this one, I'm going to have to knock out that back, who's in the what's this there? Grease plug, so I'm just going to give it a whack. Boom. Come on, baby. Probably not good on shit. She's out. Dang it. There, right there. I've got new ones of these coming too. Ford. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this bearing out of it. We have to tear up that plate, we tear up that plate. Sounds like we're going to. Tail bells. That's That's what I wasn't planning on building this thing. So now I'm going to have to figure out too good. Give me a second. Good hold. There, not there. Right there. Yeah, I don't like that. Cut an arm on it now. Sit on down there. It's all. Yeah, that's straightened out. This hammer is straight. Give her the old downward thrust, huh? We in? We're in. Yeah. Boom. Might as well keep that together. That's what I'm gonna need. Oh, yuck. All right. You ready for this? Watch. See the gap? This thing was getting ready to spin. It's flattened. Yeah. This would have been catastrophic. But you can push this thing open and closed. Not good. But they're out. All of them were junk. Bearings are good, cam bearings are junk. Other than that, I'll get you in there. Now you can see this little bit of a ridge in here. Believe it or not, that is not bad at all. It's not as bad as it looks. I've got a ridge reamer and I'm gonna clean that up. I have everything I need, hone, and yeah, I'm just gonna get this thing outside, right outside the door here, get all this garbage out of it. I'm gonna clean her up. We're gonna hone it, and then we're gonna clean it again. And I might just go ahead and change the... Yeah, I know my garage is nasty, but when you're doing shit like this, you don't have time. So I'm gonna get this thing cleaned up. And I've got a hone that'll work on this one. But first we're gonna get this thing back up on the stand. I gotta get it back on the stand because I want to go through and clean up all the surfaces, gasket surfaces, all that stuff. So yeah, she's coming along. We're getting her done quick. I had to do this in a shop many times, like fast. Customer needs a car. So anyway, I still got to worry about this mess, which is one wheel peel, by the way. I was wrong, but I'm gonna take that third member out of there, and I've got a mini spool that will work in this. It's the right spline. I'm gonna take it to my buddy and I'm gonna have him do that. I might take it to him tonight. Have him do that while I'm getting this motor done. Maybe we can put a posi under Blanche, but if we can't, we can't. I'm more worried about making sure she gets to No Name Nationals and beyond. Honestly, this is, you know, family loves this car. So it sucks that I can't drive it right now. I love driving it. So, all right, let me get this thing back up on the stand. This ought to be twice as fun. Sorry about the air compressor. I'm cleaning it up. She's cleaned up. Clean as she's gonna get. Yep. All the surfaces, everything that has a mating surface is clean. This is all clean. It's ready to roll. Now I just need to get her back up on that stand so I can get to honing. It's gonna be fun. There's a lot of gunk at the bottom of this, but I think it'll come out and I'll clean up all these journals and stuff, and I'm gonna get it outside with the pressure washer and some either tough stuff, or I like to use I don't even remember what, a purple power. But look guys, also remember, if you're using one of these, know what you're doing. You never just let it sit on one spot. You got to keep it moving. And yeah, there's going to be people that give me a hard time about using one of these to clean the surfaces, but come on, been doing it for years. Everybody's been doing it for years. They just tell you don't do it. But did get some numbers out of here. I might look them up. But I got a family thing to do, so I'm gonna go do that, and then I'll come back and I'm gonna hone this sucker out, and it'll be ready. I'll get it out here and clean her up tonight and spray her down with some fogging oil, or excuse me, some WD-40 or something like that. Keep her from flash rusting, and then we'll just wait on parts. I'll start working on them heads a little bit, but you know, I can't do nothing with them either because I'm waiting on parts. So right back to all this, here we go. So I'll be back after a bit. Can't do it, too tired. You tip this back, you can grab right here, and on the front with your gloves, I'm gonna slide this right in. Tip it back, get your foot out of the way. There you go, right here. Right under there. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Don't get it against yourself, it'll cut you. Awesome, thank you. That's it. That's all I needed. Took it out of there, but now I'm tired and weak. Thank you, Aiden. So before I go cleaning this thing up, we might as well get some hone in done. Simple process. I'm sure you've seen it a million times. Use some kind of cutting agent or lubricant, which this can be both, and then just a regular dingle ball hone. I don't even remember what grit this is, and I don't care. All I know is I bought this for the Pontiac, I think. No, I use this one on the Oldsmobile and the Pontiac. Still good. So what I want to do is, I'm just going to spray the inside, spray this thing down real good, and I'm going to run her in and out of there, you know, a good 8-10 times, see if I can get that crosshatch to look better than it is, which it ain't bad. It's just got some scoring, but there's no major. I should probably get that ring ridge out of there, but oh, We'll see what this will do first. Just in case, because it's not like bad. It's not bad. So let's get her some cutting agent in there and some lubrication. There's better ways of doing this, but I'm not going through all that crap right now. The idea is that I get this thing ready to go, and then I can just get the parts, do a second cleaning, and put it together. Because all my parts will be in this weekend, or the middle of this week. You want to start this thing rolling before you put it in there. Okay, don't stick it in and then roll it, because then you're just messing, you're gonna screw it up. So start it rolling, go through each in and out one. So I'm gonna say like 10, probably, how to do it, because this ain't a real gritty, it's not real heavy duty. 8, 7, 8, 9, 10. Make sure you're rolling as you're leaving too. Let me get a rag. Get rid of these gloves. Let's see what I'm doing. This is some really awful lighting I have going on here. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Let's go clean up nice. Oh, wow. You clean up better than the Pontiac did, that's for damn sure. Alright, so I'm going to run through there again. Another 10. We'll see what it'll come out to do. This is one of the worst cylinders, so. Alright, let's go 10 again. I think I'm going to do one more. Just for good measure, because I know there's people watching right now that will be like, "What are you doing, you stupid ass white trash?" Okay. 2, 3, 4. That's it. I'd imagine that this cylinder is done. By the way, one thing I won't cut corners on, you're going to do this yourself, use a different rag per hole. Don't transfer crap from one hole to the next, because you never know, rust could be in this one, then you're just transferring it over. So never use the same rag for all the cylinders. I know, it sounds weird coming from me, right? Heck yeah, man. Cleaned out nice. Yeah, this thing ain't got a lot of miles on it. Took enough of that ridge too that I don't think I'm gonna ridge ring that at all. Let me get you in there. Okay. Now there is some vertical scoring on this. I'm not gonna lie to you. It probably needs a little more. I may run a few more hones, you know, through each one. But it's just to give you an idea of what's going on. So let me show you. Look at the crosshatch in there. And you can see where the ridge was, but it's not really there anymore. I don't think I'm going to cut on this. A little bit of vertical scoring up here, but nothing that we're worried about at all. It's not bad. I think it'll be fine. So let me get a bunch of these done, and I'll bring you in. Yeah, turn the camera back on, chat with you a bit. Every cylinder turned out just fine. Let me just forget you saw that. So ran through all of them. One of them's got a little bit of pitting on it. You can tell where the water was sitting, but are we going with it? Yes, we're going with it. Next, let's clean it. Motor's ready. A good wash, cleaned out all the waters, journals and jackets and crevices. Then got it in here and I dried her off. And then I took the WD-40 and I sprayed down the entire block. Now, I'm going to cover it, but there ain't no need because I'm just going to clean it again. Before I go putting everything in, I'm going to wipe everything down. The only thing I got now is I'm going to put parts that need to clean. I'm going to put in my parts washer. I've already got all the rockers and all that crap. Push tubes, they're all in there. And then I got to clean up on these heads a little bit. I'm not going to go crazy on them though. I'm not even going to lap them. We're just going to put them together because I just don't have that kind of time. I might check a couple of them once I get them apart, but I got to wait till my parts come in. I'm not even going to mess with them because if I have to, I'll find a set of heads, but I don't want to. I'd rather just use what I got. They're all Cleveland heads. They're just 2V. If I found some 4V ones, well, then I got to look up a different intake because my intake is set up for 2V. Going forward to 2V. That's the way it's set up. So I really don't want to buy another intake. I sure as hell ain't using a 2-barrel. So I'll just clean them up the best I can, make sure I get the umbrella seals on them, that way she ain't blowing oil, and we'll just hope that they seal up nice, because that's the kind of time I got. So, all right, let me get some parts and crap put in the washer, and that's it. And I'll probably have a marathon thing where I put her all back together, but you may not see that till after No Name Nationals. That's if I get it done. Big if. Okay? Take care. Like and subscribe. Share maybe. Up to you. Have a good one.